Evening everybody, obviously just Rob Howley on top table, Allen and Jones will be available in the mix and finish here. Any questions for Rob?
Rob, did the wrong team win?
I think it was an outstanding test match. The intensity, the application of our players for 75 minutes was outstanding. I thought we played with pace, we played with accuracy, as did England. And I think it was a real high-octane test match with a lot of quality. International games are won in the last 10 minutes, where composure, discipline and execution come under pressure. And I thought that throughout the game, throughout the second half in particular, probably the last 15 minutes, momentum, look, we defended heroically at times. I thought Dan Biggar was outstanding in defence, and I thought him, the interception just summed up his day defensively. But we just couldn't get a foothold in the last sort of 10 minutes, and when we did, we probably didn't execute as effectively as we would want to. And as a result, when you're playing against a side that's on the bounce of 15 games, unbeaten, they know how to win. I think this side has been criticised in the autumn for winning ugly with us. We haven't got over the game try line today in terms of winning, and we've lost, but it's been a fantastic performance, except for the last sort of 6-7 minutes, and it's a tough one, but you take that, you bottle it, and we'll use it in 2 weeks' time when we go to Murrayfield.
How did you try and raise the players' spirits after that? Because like you said, there was some heroic defending and play at time, but ultimately just couldn't get over the line.
That's test match football, isn't it? The players know that. They've been there many times, as of England, and I suppose the more often you're in those moments and you get over the line, you take it. And I think that I think everyone could tell in terms of the last 10 minutes there were opportunities for England. We've defended really well. And unfortunately, those moments which we need to execute under pressure, we didn't, and as a result, they've scored 3 minutes to go. So that's test match football, and that's what happens. And you just make sure you're better next time when you get into that position.
Ross Moriarty was outstanding. Was it a tactical decision to take him off?
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. It wasn't a sort of. It was just a substitution. He's played last week 70 odd minutes. I thought our bench, they had a huge impact last week. I thought, I have to look really when the bench have come on, did we have an impact as much as we did last week? As I've said before the game, it's not number 1 or 2 when you're playing international rugby, it's a squad of 23. And the players are equally important coming on, making that impact. And probably in that last 10-15 minutes, whether England had dominant possession, and it was probably difficult to to slow their ball down in the contact area. But we found it difficult. But I thought, overall the intensity of that test match was a real test match, as you'd expect with 2 quality sides.
A couple of potential penalty shots at goal in the first half when you opted not to go for the posts. Hindsight's a wonderful thing, but in hindsight, will you maybe take the points on 1 or 2 of those occasions?
You back your players making decisions on the field, Nick. So I think that they felt at the time that was the right option. They felt it last week against Italy, and they came up with a try. This week they backed themselves. You back and trust your players. So if that was the feeling at the time, that's okay with me.
How close was George North to making the starting 15?
Oh, it was pretty evident this morning. That hematoma hadn't settled really, and play welfare is pretty important. George, in the concept of the week and how big a game this was, you want your best players playing in these games, and George and Dan both wanted to be given that opportunity, and we gave them every opportunity. And this morning it was obvious that we'd be putting him at risk if he started in the game. So I think hopefully we made the right decision, and he'll be fit for Murrayfield for selection.
Well, Eddie Jones said your attack was flawless at times in that game today. It certainly seemed different, more variety in attack, kicking, passing was crisper, more phases. How do you reflect on the way Wales played in attack?
I think both sides attacked really well. Obviously, I think that we were able to get into the outside channels. I thought our execution under pressure was good at times, and I think it was either 5 or 6 line breaks. It's nice to score a try off first phase. Home was nice, and Liam's took his line pretty well. It's been made a defensive a wrong decision. So look, we were pleased. We were pleased with a lot of good stuff there, Ross. But ultimately, test matches, as I said right at the beginning, are defined in the last 10 minutes, where those 3 elements of the game come into play in terms of your composure, your discipline, and executing those decisions under pressure. And I think that probably England did it a little bit better than us, and hence deserved the win.
How far down the road are you, Rob, of changing the Wales game plan towards a slightly quicker tempo than has been in the past?
What are your thoughts on tonight, Nick?
I thought that you're moving in that direction.
Good. I'm glad you think that. Yeah, I thought we were okay with the ball in hand. Thought we asked questions either side of the rucks, so we'll continue to do that. I think we've got some world-class backs, and hopefully we'll keep working hard in our game and improving. And that's a challenge for the players, and I think one of the qualities of a team is how you bounce back. Some of these players have bounced back before, and I got no doubt we'll have a reaction, because there's a lot of character in that dressing room. It wasn't a pleasant one to be in after the game, but you have to bottle that feeling as a player and a coach, and we'll try and learn for those last 10 minutes where we went wrong, and I think that for that experience, hopefully you bottle it and it'll be better up in Murrayfield in 2 weeks' time.
What about Sam Warburton?
I haven't managed to speak to Sam, so I can't really give you a decisive sort of what he's done. Obviously he's with the medical team, and obviously we'll just wait and see.
You know where part of his body was injured?
I don't actually, yes, so I'll find out.
How impressed are you by this England team? Obviously met them last year in the Six Nations and then in the summer as well, but since then they've gone unbeaten Australia and unbeaten the autumn. Have they come on leaps and bounds from when you last met them?
They're a very good rugby team, aren't they? I think that unbeaten in 16 games now. They've got a knack in the last game against France. So Eddie said that they didn't play well, they've got over the line. It's another win today, and that just gives you a lot of self-belief and confidence, and they probably in the last sort of 10 minutes believe that they're going to win, and that's pretty precious to have that feeling, and that feeling comes over the last 12 months, if not longer, really, under Eddie. And look, they're a hugely talented rugby team. I think they have got world-class players, and we defended very well on occasions today. I thought our attitude, our courage, our application, we put them under pressure, and there were times, I think particularly the second half, we felt that we had them under pressure, but we just allowed them that opportunity to get out of pressure situations, and that's our learning. But look, they're a very good rugby team.
Rob, with George not quite making it this week, do you have any regrets about how we left him on for the injury last week?
No, look, we asked George. I wish I could score a try if I was injured like that last week. I think that he was. We asked him last week, and he was okay to stay on, and he scored an outstanding try. I don't think whether that would have changed or not is the flight home. Obviously, we came back on that night, and obviously, I think the quad, the hematoma, obviously got much bigger then, and it was like a bit of a race against time. But as I said earlier, that you want your quality players and best players playing in games, and we wanted to give them that every opportunity.
Because this England team was good enough to do the Grand Slam and break that.
It's not for me to answer that question. I think that Eddie knows his players far better than I do. I know they're a very good side to play against. They have got world-class players, and they've got a knack of winning. I don't know where they're going to next in the next 3-4 weeks, because the focus was on this afternoon. So look, they're a tough side to beat, home or away. They've got that knack of getting themselves out of situations, and I think you saw that this evening under pressure. I don't know how many points down they were, but they've got back into the game. I thought that we aided that, but ultimately they've taken that opportunity.
Can you coach that, or is that a mentality that you're referring to there, that killer instinct, like winning ugly?
Look, when you go unbeaten 15, 16 games, in terms of the self-belief and confidence, I think, maybe as a player you feel like you can run through brick walls, don't you? Because you're in that mode of winning. It's a winning mentality. And they know what winning smells like, feels like. They've got, obviously, a great team spirit there. Because when they come under pressure, that's one of the core ingredients of a winning team. And they certainly were under pressure tonight at times. But we just weren't able to dominate them in the minutes that mattered most, and that was in the last 10 minutes.
Well, you talked about the final 10. Is there anything that you can learn about that you do differently?
I think within my personal feeling is that after a game is a lot of emotional attachment to the game, and I think that we've spoken about aspects of the last 10 minutes, and I think it's next sort of 24, 48 hours is for players and coaches to dissect what in the last sort of 10 minutes, which is key, probably from 65 minutes onwards. But there's certainly a change in momentum. You could feel the momentum and the impact of the English ball carrying. They're quite in terms of the gain line and speed of ball, it was very difficult to stop, and ultimately obviously we've made a couple of errors in the last 10 minutes through lack of discipline, composure, those aspects I spoke about.
Are we all done? Thank you very much.
Cheers guys, thank you.